Okay, we're live now.
Okay. Good evening. This is the Accessory Apartment Review Board. Today's date is July 14th, 2020. Would you please have the secretary call the roll? Unmute yourself, Andrea. Unmute yourself.
Thank you. Chairperson Sandra Thomas,
Present.
Carolyn Babona,
Present.
Peter Denegris,
Present.
Stephanie Harris,
It's a medical leave.
okay. Carrie Vassalou,
Present.
Sal Mandel,
Present.
Keith Hayward,
Present.
Dave Bishop.
Present as counsel to the board.
Yes.
Harold said he was waiting to be let in. I don't know if he's present yet.
I only have a Laura Spencer and Nancy Del Fiore in the waiting room.
Okay. Can we please salute the flag?
But you forgot one person's name.
Who?
Lamont Wilson.
You didn't say Lamont Wilson.
Oh.
Yes, Lamont Wilson. I apologize, Lamont.
Sorry about that, Lamont. Thank you. Can we please salute the flag? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
and
and to the republic for which it stands,
one
one
nation,
nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty
and
and
justice for
all. Thank you. This evening, we will consider two revocation applications. In each of these hearings, I will first ask the town to present its evidence. Then I will ask the members of the public to comment or present evidence. Then the permit holder will be given the opportunity to rebut any evidence and make statements, including the right to ask questions. Members of the board may ask questions although as chair, I may determine that relevant questions have already been addressed and that we need to move forward. Anyone, whether government official, neighbor, or permit holder, will speak under oath and is reminded to take that oath seriously. Our first hearing is on Anthony Belfiore. The address is 92 Lido Prom West, Lindenhurst. The permit number is 2070061. I will call the town's witnesses at this time. Ronnie Morrow.
Yes. Can everyone hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Hello, everyone. I am a code enforcement officer with the town of Babylon Code Enforcement Department. Today, I stepped over to 92 Lido Prom for an inspection. During my inspection, I did notice some paint canisters. Sorry, give me 1 second. Okay. I did notice some paint canisters in the driveway, which does create a violation of debris. Alongside the house, there was assorted equipment such as floaties, boating material that is considered debris under our town code. The front yard, we had various weeds in the yard, somewhat overgrown, which is also a violation of our town code. There is a trailer that is on the left side of the property on the front lawn in the corner. That also violates the code, considering a trailer cannot be on private property, especially a utility trailer such as that. Boat trailers are fine as long as they are registered with up-to-date plates. And also behind the boat in the driveway, there was a small pile of, I want to say, topsoil or sand, which is also a violation under our town code.
Yeah, the topsoil that I was using to once it had my
Excuse me, Mr. Belfiore, you'll have an opportunity to speak when the town's witnesses complete their testimony. So would you please refrain from speaking until that happens.
Sure.
Yeah, and pretty much we had a complaint of a sunken boat that was there, that was remedied. He took care of that. We have the pictures that I took today on the dock. The boat has been removed. That's pretty much it for my evidence that I had today on my inspection.
Okay, thank you very much. Please remember that you were under oath, although I did not swear you in.
Okay.
I do now have Edward Bertola standing by as well. Is he going to be testifying for the town of Babylon Code Enforcement?
Okay.
He got his mute button on. You gotta cut the mute off.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
I have to swear you in, Mr. Bertola.
Okay.
Do you swear to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, I do.
And that the testimony you will give is the truth?
Yes, it is.
Okay, and would you please state your name and your position?
My name is Ed Buterla. I am the Deputy Commissioner of DEC and Sanitation of the town of Babylon.
Thank you. Please proceed.
In regarding to the 92 Lido Prom, same thing. I inspected today, and like witnessed by Ronnie, the sunken boat had been rectified. The pile of debris that had been in there is still there. Buckets of debris is still there. A propane tank. That stuff needs to be rectified. Little grass overgrown here and there. The property has to be maintained at all times. And other than that, it's pretty much what Ronnie had stated earlier that I witnessed today. This has been going on, started March 25th, and now some of the items had been rectified, but it was 3 or 4 months later.
Okay, thank you.
You are.
Also, I have here a memo from Joseph McDonald, the building inspector. The memo is dated July 14th, 2020, 92 Lido Promenade West. Please be advised, and the memo is to Sandra Thomas, chairperson of the Accessory Apartment Review Board. Says, please be advised that I inspected the subject premises of 92 Lido Promenade West, Lindenhurst on Friday, July 10th, 2020, and noted the following violations: boat on the front lawn, trailer unregistered on front lawn. I also requested a general backyard cleanup because of dirt pile and other minor debris. This is signed by Joseph McDonald, building inspector, town of Babylon, 200 Sunrise Highway. Okay, is there anyone here from the audience that would like to testify in this situation, on this application?
So we have Laura Spencer Brennan and John Voight in the waiting room. That's it.
No, those are not for this. I don't have them down as people. Hearing not, Mr.
Kevin,
Bell-
that was
The applicant. Didn't the applicant try to speak before?
What, I cannot hear you.
The applicant is here, Untitled Chapter.
Right, I'm going to allow the applicant now to respond. Mr. Belfiore, would you please state your name and your address?
Sure. It's Anthony Belfiore, 92 West Lido Prom, Hurst, New York, 11757.
And do you swear to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth, so help you?
I do.
Okay. Mr. Belfiore, what do you have a response to the allegations that have been presented here by the town?
Yeah. Well, the pile of dirt is to fill in the back because my bulkhead was redone and it was raised 18 inches, so I'm trying to level out the back there. As far as the buckets, that's filled with sand, and we're supposed to use that to put over the dirt to try and make it look like a little beach area. And there's bags of sand also that are piled up there. But the boat bumpers, I can clean that up. No problem. I can get the trailer out of their left-hand corner. Not a problem. and I usually maintain the grass and the lawn, you know, so, if there's any other problem, I can take care of it, you know.
When will your bulkhead construction be finished?
Oh, it's done. It's done, but I'm trying to fill in the back area where it was much lower. They raised it 18 inches, so I'm trying to level it out, you know, to the rest of the backyard.
Right. So when is the completion date?
I'm trying to get help. Listen, I'm on disability. I have heart problems, and you know, it's not as I need to try and get help to, you know, to try and finish everything up. But I will definitely take care of as much as I can within the next week or so.
And Mr. Belfiore, what caused the boat to sink, and why was it there so long? It was obviously a navigation hazard. You know, what happened to that boat?
Yeah, well, what happened with that was, I explained it to Tim Taylor, the harbor master, and it's what happened. I didn't even know who owned the boat, to tell you honestly, and I find out it was this guy Chris Roth, which everybody knows his name. He's just a tremendous issue in the town of Lindenhurst and the surrounding areas. But he abandoned the damn boat there, and it sank. And I was trying to, with my friends, you know, we had it halfway up, and then finally we got it floating and pumped it out, and we removed it the next day after Tim Taylor came with the Bay Constable, and they actually have pictures of us taking it out.
All right, but Mr. Belfiore, there are other issues with your property, and you have to give us reason not to revoke your permit. So your community and your neighbors are very concerned about the condition of your property. There was even a concern as to whether or not you live there. And so this is a revocation hearing. And so we really want to help our neighbors and our townspeople. So when do you think that you can have this property cleaned up? Or what reason can you give us not to revoke your permit?
Well, you know that I live here, so that's number one. And number two is, you know, I wasn't aware of all these issues that goes against the town standards. But I will take care of it. You know, I will do what I need to do. Get rid of the dirt, the sand buckets, and move the trailer, and always pretty much maintain the lawn.
So will you give us a time frame as to when you think that can be done?
Maybe a week or two.
So today's
Okay,
July
does anybody
14th.
from the board have any questions?
Yes, Madam Chair, this is Lamont Wilson. Was
Yes.
there any was they trying to show any pictures of his property earlier?
Yes, we have pictures.
I believe that they do have pictures of the property. But right now, the inspectors have really verified that that's what it was. And so we can move forward now.
Yeah, I understand that the inspectors, but if he had pictures, I would like to see it. You know what I'm saying? How can I just, you know, I want to see what they're talking about.
Jersey, can you show the pictures, Jersey?
Yes.
Yes.
That was too quick.
Can we all see this?
Yeah, I can see that. See
Yeah.
that must be the boat that was floating.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
It's the White House. Yeah. Okay. Anything else?
And then we also have this.
All right. That's okay.
Okay. Is there anyone else from the board that would like to ask any questions?
Madam
Okay.
Chair, this is
I'm
Keith
not
Hayward.
council.
We've seen the pictures, we've heard from the applicant. He's giving us presumably a week to 2 weeks to do this, I think we should really consider waiting until everything and every violation is corrected before we move forward.
Okay. Well, the record will remain open for 7 days to allow any others to make comment. And then in 7 days at our next hearing, the board will make a decision whether or not to put this on reserve and wait for reinspection or to revoke his permit. Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Bellafiore. Thank you for your testimony.
Okay, and will you guys allow me a couple of weeks to take care of these issues?
Yes, we're going to leave the record open for 7 days for others to comment. And
Okay.
then we will render a decision as to whether or not to put this hearing on reserve and or to vote for a revocation. But we're more than likely we will allow you the time to clean up your property because we're about helping our residents. Okay.
I appreciate.
You're welcome, but in a timely manner. Thank you, Mr.
Absolutely.
Bellafiore. Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Okay, the next hearing is going to be, well, actually, this is not going to be a hearing. This is of the town has gone into an agreement with Douglas Ratner. The application number is 1870376. The property is 703 Dansfield Road, West Babylon, New York. Mr. Ratner has signed an agreement with the town of Babylon. He has accepted the revocation of his permit and he has filed a new deed and his son will be filing a new application for an accessory apartment permit. So therefore, this revocation hearing is no longer viable. Okay. The next hearing on our list, Kevin, you can let in Laura Brenner and the others.
Okay, Laura Spencer Brennan is being added and John Voight. I also have a phone number in the waiting room, a 516 number.
I can't hear you.
I have a 516 up. It's gone now. Okay, so we have Laura Spencer Brennan and John Voight now added.
Okay. This evening, we are considering the revocation on the property permit, accessory apartment permit of number 1970893, 168 West Lindo Prom, Lindenhurst, New York, 11757. The owner is Tashi David Elkovitz.
Hi, this is Laura Brennan. I represent Mr. Elgovich, and I called the town attorney's office today to let them know that Mr. Elgovich is not well today, and he was asking for an adjournment, and they said that I had to appear, but I can't proceed without my client. So I'm asking the board for an adjournment of this matter.
Why
I'll
can't
ask
you
my
proceed
attorney
without
to
the
answer. Dave, I can't
I
hear you.
mean, this has been noticed for today. Why can't you proceed?
Because I need my client on the call to proceed.
What information don't you have?
Well, for the questions you're going to ask related to this, I don't have any personal knowledge, and I would like my client to be on the call.
Well, the record is held open for 7 days, so we can proceed, get the testimony from the town representatives, and then your client will have 7 days, and you can prepare responses with him over that time.
Okay.
Also, this is Joe Wilson from the town attorney's office. We've already granted one adjournment request. This case was first on last month, noticed for last month, and we're ready to proceed today. As Dave Bishop has stated, the record will be open if he would like to present some evidence at next week's meeting. He's more than welcome to. However, I would urge this board to proceed on this matter.
Okay. On the advice of the town attorney, as chair, we're going to proceed with this revocation hearing tonight. And as stated, the record will be held open for 7 days for any rebuttal or continued questions. This evening, we're going to consider the revocation of this application of Tashi David Elkovich, 168 West Lindo Palm, Lindenhurst, New York. The town will present its evidence. Then we will ask members of the public to comment who are present with evidence that they may want to present. And then we will allow the permit holder or his attorney to be given an opportunity to rebut the evidence, to make statements, and including the right to ask questions. As the chair, I can determine that questions at any juncture the board may ask questions. And I ask that those people who are going to testify not be redundant in their testimony. At this time, I will call the town's investigator, Mr. Armando De Leon, and I will swear him in. Mr. De Leon, could you please state your name and your position?
My name is Armando De Leon, and I work as an investigator for the town of Babylon Attorney's Office.
Okay, and do you swear to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth? And that your testimony will be truthful as you know it?
Yes.
Okay,
I do.
thank you.
You're
We
welcome.
will proceed with your testimony, Mr. De Leon.
First and foremost, good evening, everyone. So back in early March, maybe late February, I was directed by the town attorney's office as a result of numerous community complaints to look into and investigate 168 West Lido Prom and Lindenhurst 11757. It was in regards to accessory apartment permit 197-0893 expiring 8/20/2022. The first thing I did was I conducted a query of the said address, and I disclosed that Luz Reyes resided at the location, and Jurema, Jurema Para, also resided at the location. I proceeded there, where I observed 2 vehicles in the driveway of 168 West Lido. Those 2 vehicles was a 2015 Chevy, license plate JMF 1790, and that registration came back to a Dawn Tuthill. There was also a 2009 Mazda, license plate JCS 5984, and that registration came back to a Jurema Para, who resided at the location based on the query search. So I did a query of Mr. Algovich's license through the DMV database, and it came back to an address in Melville, 31 Wilmington Drive, 11747. I then did a query through the town of Huntington property tax record of that address, and it came back for the 2019-2020 fiscal year. It came back to Mr. and Mrs. Elgovich, Laura Elgovich, and Tahi, and I apologize if I'm pronouncing the name wrong, Tahi Elgovich, as paying the taxes of 31 Wilmington Drive, Melville, 11747. So then I proceeded to the location, where I observed 2 vehicles in the driveway on numerous occasions. One of the vehicles was a 2017 Acura, license plate DZH9825. A query of that vehicle came back to a registered owner of Laura Elkovich. The second vehicle was a Nissan Rogue HXW178, and a query of that vehicle came back to registered owner Tahi Elgovich. Since then, I've made numerous observations at that address, numerous times in March, a couple of times in April, May, on June 8th, and just as late as an hour ago. And the Acura, as of an hour ago, was in the driveway of 31 Wilmington Drive. I took all that information and I forwarded over to the town attorney's office for review.
Mr. De Leon, besides the town of the town's records, as far as the taxes go, does it indicate who, if they are obtaining a star exemption at the Melville address?
Yes, they are.
Okay, and when you conducted your investigation, did you take any photographs of the vehicles at the?
Yes, I did.
Okay, maybe Jersey, can you show some of the photographs for the board as far as the DMV records and photos and other documents?
Yep.
And Armando, if you could go through and describe what you see in those photographs and whether or not you took those photographs.
Yes, that is the Acura that I just described, that I observed in the driveway of 31 Wilmington. And that's also the same Acura that I was there around 5 o'clock this afternoon. That is also a vehicle that I observed in the driveway of 31 Wilmington, Nissan Rogue HXW178, 1758, I'm sorry.
And what time of the day would you say that that night photo was taken?
It was probably around 8 o'clock in the evening.
And besides the registration, the vehicle registration information, what are we looking at in this photograph? What is this a photograph of?
That is a query search of Mr. Elgovich's license through DMV database, and it shows him residing at 31 Wilmington Drive, Melville, New York, 11747.
And what is this a photograph of?
That is the vehicle parked in front of 168 West Lido Prom, coming back to registered owner Hurema Para, who resides at that address.
At any time that you went to 168 West Lido Prom, have you ever seen the vehicles that were registered to Mr. Elgovich or any of his family members?
No.
Dave, do you have any questions?
No, that was my question. The one that you just used.
I'm sorry, I stole your thunder, Dave. I apologize.
But all right.
I'd like to show the board what was presented to the town. This was Mr. Elkovich's driver's license at the time he submitted his application. As you can see, he noted that his address was 168 West Lido. However, according to the DMV search that Mr. De Leon has submitted, that address has been changed from when he filed his application. I have nothing further. Does any of the board members have any questions for Mr. De Leon?
Mr. De Leon, do you have any other evidence that indicates that Mr. Elkovich or his family?
Well, I did a social media search And I did find Mrs. Elgovich's Facebook page. And that, when you file for these Facebook social media, I don't know much about social media, so I apologize if I butcher it. But I know that there is a profile that you fill out, and that profile was her address showed Melville, a Melville address. In her Facebook page, she had kids in the backyard, the kids graduating from, I think, Huntington High School.
Half Hollow Hills.
Half Hollow Hills, I'm sorry, Half Hollow Hills.
Here, there's a page that has her.
So yeah, her Facebook page shows her up in Melville. That I'm assuming she prepared.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. DeLeon.
You're
Does
welcome.
anybody from the board have any other questions for Mr. DeLeon? You have to unmute yourself, Carrie.
Do you happen to know the date of that Half Hollow Hills graduation photo?
No, I do not.
It's a recent post, or?
There were recent posts. I didn't go back that far.
Okay.
Okay, at this time, thank you, Mr. DeLeon. We will now hear from members of the community who have signed up to speak. The first name I have is John Voigt.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes. Mr. Voigt, would you please state your name and your address?
Sure, definitely. John Vogt, V-O-G-T, 264 West Lido Promenade. I'm also the chairman of the American Venice Civic Association, and as such, I'm representing the Civic Association. I do have some other members. I'd like to read their names into the record if I could.
Okay, let me swear you in first, please, Mr. Voigt.
Sure, of course.
Okay. Do you swear to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth? So help you?
So help me God, I do.
Okay. And we're going to need the other names and their addresses. So.
Yep.
And if they plan to testify, we're going to have to ask them then to be sworn.
I don't know if anybody else is going to testify. Let me ask her. They're scattered around here for social distancing. Is anybody else going to testify? Yeah, well, it depends, I guess, on what I say. And I can give you their names, or do you want to take their names if they testify? What would be easier for you?
You can give their names, and if they testify, then we'll swear them in.
It's a good idea.
Okay. And then as they testify, then they can give you their home addresses. And
right, we can swear them in, yes.
Well, a couple of things. First, I have a question. That house was substantially damaged after Sandy, and it was never raised. They probably just did minor repairs to the first floor. And my understanding, after going through Sandy, that there would be no C of O on the house. How can an accessory apartment permit be issued to a house with no C of O, or am I misinformed?
Well, Dave, do you have an answer to that?
I don't. I don't know if it has a C of O or not. Obviously, you can't have an apartment or legal dwelling without the C of O. So we will look into that and have an answer next.
But
meeting.
I have to say, at the time of the application, the apartment was, our inspectors did inspect the apartment, and it did
Right.
pass.
So I suspect it has a C of O, but
yes.
we'll track it down.
Yeah.
All right, that's
Go
it,
ahead.
because the house wasn't raised. Now, also, Tashi's house is currently for sale on Facebook for $599,000, and it's listed with an accessory apartment by permit. So I don't know. He came down with a cold tonight, but I guess he's trying to sell the house and get out. And it was also that house on. It was 65% damaged on the FEMA list. So. Again, knowing the rules in these houses, we've worked with a lot of neighbors down here trying to get their property straightened out. That just seems high.
Mr. Voigt, I have a few questions for you. This is
Yes.
the town attorney. Do
Yes.
you have any evidence for this board to consider as to whether or not Mr. Elkovich resides at that property?
The only evidence I have is, again, I researched his address in Millville, and I talked to neighbors down there, and they said if they do see him, because they recognize him, it's like once a month to collect the rent. And they did speak to the tenants in there. The tenants are very upset because I guess he told them they're going to be evicted. So that's all I have. Other little anecdotal.
Are the people that you're with now, are they the neighbors that you were describing on this Zoom meeting?
No, they're not. They're not the ones that down there. They're just fellow board members.
Okay, thank you. No further questions.
So is there any other statement that you'd like to make, Mr. Voigt, about this revocation?
No, it just, again, our whole issue with this, after just, and this is just a broad statement. After Sandy, this area was hard hit, as everybody knows. And there's been a tremendous amount of people displaced or moving, and a lot of people converting their houses to multiple families. And we're pushing back. We're just trying to keep this still as much as possible, a single family residential neighborhood, owner occupied.
Mr. Voigt, I have to ask you to speak to this application, to this 168.
Okay, sure. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
to keep
definitely.
your comments directed about that.
I have nothing else about that house right now. Just, I don't. Oh, and there was a question, is there a penalty, if he's proved to be lying, there was a question one of the board members had, is there a penalty for that? I say lying, misrepresenting himself. I apologize if he's misrepresenting himself.
Well, if he proves not to be living at 168 Lido, which is what the testimony is here today, then the permit would be revoked. This is a revocation hearing regarding that, regarding whether or not he does legally live there. That's why we're taking evidence and information as to whether or not he lives there or not. And this is a revocation hearing so that he would lose the permit.
Okay.
Is there anybody else on the list of, I do have a list of names that wish to testify in this hearing.
They might be fellow board members. That was sent in, I believe. Would that be John Frivola, Kim O'Neill, Tony Cervillo, Michelle Libitella? Is that the list?
Yes, I have. I have John Frivola, Kathy Gullo, Michelle Insignia, Kim O'Neill, Laura Ciccone, Melissa Cantor, Cindy Farley, Michelle Libitella, and Tony Cervillo.
That's correct.
Okay.
We are all sitting around this computer.
Would any of these people like to testify?
We all are just agreeing that this gentleman does not live in this neighborhood.
Well,
and
I'd have to, if you're going to speak, I'm going to have to swear you in, and you have to state your name and address. If Mr. Vogt is representing all of you as the Civic Association, then we'll accept that.
John Voigt is representing all of us for the Civic Association.
Okay, thank you very much. All right. Thank you, Mr. Voigt.
You're welcome. That's all we have. Thank you for looking into this matter.
Okay, I will now call Laura Brennan, attorney for Mr. Elkovich. Ms. Brennan, I can't hear you. Would you please, we cannot hear you.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
Can you please state your name and your address? And I know you're an officer of the court, but I'm going to swear you anyway.
I cannot testify on this call right now because I have no personal knowledge of this matter.
Right, so and there's no need to cross-examine anybody, right? Because nobody has direct, other than the town officials, unless you want to.
Yeah, at this point, I need to have my client on, and, if we could leave the record open for the next week.
That's what we'll do.
I really cannot, that's why I wanted an adjournment, because I really cannot speak to this matter right now until my client is present.
Okay, so the record will be held open for 7 days to submit written responses to anything that occurred in the hearing. It's open to you and your client. It's also open to the public. And the board will not vote on this matter until the next meeting at the earliest.
Okay, well, the record will be closed.
This is John Vogt, if you could still hear me. Will we be invited to the next meeting?
You're invited, but not, you
won't
the
be
only
able to speak.
testimony from here on in is written. So if you want to submit something written that's additional and not repetitive of what's already been testified to, we would accept.
And
Okay,
Mr. Voigt, if it's determined that Mr. Elkovich submitted a false instrument to the town, that information will be turned over to the DA's office.
Okay, thank you. And how would we find out the determination of this? Is that public or are we informed?
Well, the DA's office would conduct that investigation, so that's separate from the town. However, this would be public information as far as if the permit was revoked or not by this board. But we will get back to you.
All right, one way or the other. I appreciate that.
Okay. So let the record show that the record will be held open for 7 days for public comment, at which time the board will convene on July 21st and make a determination. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. DeLeon.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. We will now move to renewals by affidavit, and we will have Ms. Carrie Basilis, who will be presenting the renewals.
Okay, so everyone, thank you very much. I think Mr. DeLeon and I are going to get off this call as that application for revocation has been completed. So thank you all very much for your time. Thank you for your leadership, Mrs. Thomas.
Thank you.
And have a good night, all. Thank you.
Okay,
Thank
thank you.
you. You
Thank
too.
you.
Good night.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Good night.
All right.
Good night.
May I proceed? May I proceed then?
Yes, you may.
Okay, members of the board, I have for your consideration renewals by affidavit. The first one, number 1, being, Figueroa, 843 Brook Street, West Babylon, New York.
I would like to make a motion to approve.
Motion by
Second.
Pete and seconded
Second.
by Keith. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Number 2, Gargiulo Irrevocable Trust, 57 Miramar Boulevard, Lindenhurst, New York.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Pete, second by Keith. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Number 3, Cheryl at 268 Sullivan Road in North Babylon.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Pete, second by Keith. All in favor?
Aye.
Number 4, the Fisher Family Trust, 15 Arthur Avenue, West Babylon.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Pete, second by Keith. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Number 5, Sanchez at 413 Washington Street East, East Farmingdale.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Number 6, Kutaya at 225 West 21st Street, Deer Park.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Pete, second by Keith. All in favor?
Aye.
Number 7, Hoffer at 578 Pinto Street, North Babylon.
Motion to approve.
I'll second the motion.
Motion by Carol, second by Pete.
Number 8, Clark, 461 Windmill Avenue, North Babylon.
Motion to approve.
I'll second the motion.
Motion by Carol, second by Pete. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Number 9, Lieb, 324 14th Street, West Babylon.
Motion to approve.
I'll second the motion.
Motion by Carol, second by Pete. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Number 10, Hussein, 320 West 10th Street, Deer Park, New York.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion to approve by Carol, second by Pete. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Number 11, Bellissimo Burke, 123 Gracie Drive, North Babylon.
Motion to approve.
I'll second the motion.
Motion by Carol, seconded by Pete. All in favor?
Aye.
Number 12, Beecher, 549 Lombard Street, North Babylon.
Motion to approve.
I'll second the motion.
Motion by Carol, second by Pete. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Okay, don't quote me on this one. 13, Zarturzuki, 206 4th Street, North Lindenhurst.
Lamont, that's you.
Motion to approve.
Motion
Second,
by Lamont.
can I second it?
Second by Skip, but it's supposed to be Carol. Motion
Okay.
by Lamont,
Sorry.
second by Skip. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
14, Billman and Jaycox, 45 Western Concourse, Amityville, New York.
Motion to approve.
Second. Motion by Lamont, second by Carol. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
15, Cirillo, 7 Anawanda Road, North Babylon.
Motion to approve.
Motion by Lamont, second by Carol. All in favor?
Aye.
16, Burke, 471 17th Street, West Babylon.
Motion to approve.
Second. Motion by Lamont, second by Carol. All in favor?
Aye.
17, Moody and Marat, 520 Scudder Avenue, Copeg, New York.
Motion to approve.
Motion by Lamont, second by Carol. All in favor?
Aye.
18, Finnan, 103 Ferraris Street, Copeg.
Motion to approve.
Second. Motion by Lamont, second by Carol. All in favor?
Aye.
19, Keller, 165 Mohawk Avenue, Deer Park, New York.
Motion to approve.
Second. Motion by Lamont, second by Carol. All in favor?
Aye.
20, Yanes, 2 Hamlin Avenue, West Babylon.
Motion to approve.
Second. Motion by Lamont, second by Carol. All in favor?
Aye.
21, Tapata, 152 West 2nd Street, Deer Park.
Motion to approve.
Second. Motion by Lamont, second by Carol. All in favor?
Aye.
22, Jones, 28 Pine Road, North Amityville.
Motion to approve.
Okay.
Second.
Harold, you can second.
Second,
All right. Motion by Keith, second by Harold. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
23, Caldwell, 84 Sheffield Avenue, North Babylon.
Motion to approve.
Motion by
Second.
Keith. Motion by Keith, second by Harold. All in favor?
Aye.
24, Shinnick, 29 Durham Lane, North Babylon.
Motion to approve.
second,
Motion by Keith, second by Harold. All in favor?
Aye.
25, the Mastro Pasqua Family Trust at 509 Davis Street, North Babylon.
Keith.
Motion to approve.
second,
Motion by Keith, second by Harold. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Now I have one affidavit of transfer, and that's Alberto Silva at 55 15th Street, West Babylon.
That's you, Carol.
Motion to
Carol.
approve.
Motion by Carol, seconded by,
Lamont.
second by Lamont. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And the minutes, please.
Motion to accept the minutes.
Motion by Carol, seconded by Pete.
Second by Pete.
Okay, all
Do
in
we have to
favor?
go,
Aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
have to do the reserve decision? No?
Those decisions, the record is open for 7 days on those revocation hearings?
No, I have a decision that's reserved on Bennett's.
Oh, that one is, they're going to request, we're not gonna rule on that today. They are requesting another inspection. Okay, I'll take a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn the meeting, Madam President.
I'll second the motion.
Motion by Keith, seconded by Pete. The meeting is now adjourned at 7 p.m. Thank you,
Thank you very
everybody.
much.
Thank you.
Thank you.